People have demanded this to be on DVD for many years. A lot of people expected that it would never hit DVD. It's finally here, the first season of Friday the 13th, the series. Let's go ahead and talk about the basic plot of every one of these. It's sort of similar to the Three Stooges in that every episode of this is a very basic plot of these movies.
Okay, here's the plot. Here's the basic setup, okay? There's an old antique dealer who makes a pact with the devil, and he has to sell cursed antiques. But he gets in trouble, basically, and he dies, and his store's inherited by his niece, who's played by Louis Roby, who's the redhead, Mickey, and her cousin Ryan.
Hey, Mickey!
Who's John D. LeMay, who was actually also in Jason Goes to Hell.
That's right.
He's the only guy to be in the series and the movies as well.
Creighton Duke was breaking his fingers.
That's right. And then they got the other old fart guy, the Chris Wiggins character.
He looks like Grandpa Seth.
Jack Marshak, yeah, is the guy that's like helping them out to sell the antiques and stuff. So basically, every story is set up like this. There's an antique from the store
that was sold,
and then they have to go try to find.
Yeah.
And there's
before it kills people.
Yeah, there's a backstory behind each one of the antiques. Like there could be a cursed hat, or anything like that.
A cursed dildo.
Yeah, a cursed butt plug. It could be anything.
And that's it. I mean, pretty much. And it's pretty much John D. LeMay and the redhead, whatever her name is.
Louis Roby. I always thought she was extremely hot.
Louise.
Louise, maybe.
Yeah. Louise Roby and John LeMay, D. LeMay, whatever his name is. They're always going out and trying to get the item to bring it back to the little vault they have there at the shop where all the cursed items must go. And here's the weird thing. Okay, here's what I'm thinking. Is the shop they have, it's called Curious Goods, right?
Yeah.
Is it open? What's the deal? Why would you want to sell more people cursed items?
I don't think they were actually selling the shit after a point, though. I think that was
Wouldn't people be curious, or, they'd be a little concerned that there was a shop that wasn't selling anything to people?
I think that was like their headquarters or something, though, wasn't it? It wasn't like a...
I don't know.
They're trying to find all that shit.
Here's the thing, though. Why would they put up Curious Goods or sign? Why would they want to put a sign up telling people to come in there?
Maybe they were hoping to attract the people back who had bought the things there to begin with, so they'd bring it back.
Anyway, yeah, the first, I guess the pilot show was actually pretty good, The Inheritance, which tells pretty much the whole story about how the antique dealer passed on and his niece and nephew have come there. But it also tells the backstory of a little girl getting a doll from the shop. And the doll, of course, is an evil doll, and it tells her, she can do whatever she wants and to get rid of her babysitter or, stepmother or whatever else. Interesting thing about this episode, though, Sarah Polley, who you may remember from the Dawn of the Dead remake, is the little girl in the movie, or in the TV show. So I always thought that was interesting. And it actually is a pretty decent episode. Now, there in this box set, though, it's 19 hours and 39 minutes of this show. And it's sort of hard to believe looking at the package that it's in.
Well, it's in a single DVD case. They've put 6 DVDs into a single DVD case, which, here's the thing. That sucks for a number of reasons. But if you're like me and you don't have like a lot of room to put DVDs in, that's actually pretty decent. And I wouldn't mind that as much.
Right.
But the real problem with this set is they didn't fix anything in this set. As far as mastering goes, they didn't fix the audio. They didn't fix the picture. It looks exactly like they took it directly off of some kind of VHS transfer. And for fans of the series, I was a pretty big fan of the series. When I was a kid, I can remember all these episodes coming out. I can remember having a big crush on old Louise Roby. But
although she couldn't act.
No, she couldn't act at all. But Paramount really didn't do anything to this. They just put it out.
Well,
that's all it did.
They're going to have problems with this simply because, for one thing, it looks like one DVD, and it's going to have a $40 price tag.
I honestly think they might have been trying to trick people. Like, to making them think that it was a Friday the 13th movie or something. You know what I mean? To maybe not even, think it was a series.
I don't know. Yeah, they did. The weird thing is, Friday the 13th, the series, they did use the Friday the 13th logo, the movie logo, which isn't used in the show at all.
Yeah.
Which was weird. And it doesn't have anything to do with the Friday the 13th movies.
It wouldn't at all surprise me if they were thinking, oh shit, we'll put this out and make people think that we actually did like either remastered a Friday the 13th or put out a new Friday the 13th movie or something like that.
Well, a lot of people that weren't, that were younger when this series came out, odds are they had never heard of the series, and they're probably thinking, oh, well, this must be a new series involving Jason Voorhees and all this stuff like that. But they're going to have problems because the fans of the series are going to be pissed off. The quality on these episodes look pretty horrible, actually. I mean, to me, I was describing it as if you took a DVD, recorder and recorded like an episode of Tales from the Dark Side straight from Sci-Fi Channel. That's pretty much what it looks like. It's probably one of the worst looking, like, mainstream transfers I've ever seen that was released by a studio. Looks more along the lines like a public domain disc or something like that. Yeah,
it truly is a horrible transfer. But most of the feedback I've been getting from people that I go on and check out some of the reviews of these, and I've got one of them printed out over here and stuff, is that a lot of people are just happy that the series is actually out.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, this is the only time this is ever going to come out.
There will never be
money on that.
Yeah.
So,
think about how much trouble they've had just getting special editions from the movies. You think there's ever going to be a special edition of this series? There's no way.
If you're a fan of this series, this is what you get because you're not going to get anything else. Now, the good thing about it is, like he said, it's all in one disc. If you don't have much room to spare, it's cool in that aspect. But in a marketing aspect, just thinking from the studio's sake itself, 6 discs, you could put that in a pretty big box and charge the same price, and people would think they were getting a steal, and they would definitely buy it then. It just looks like, to me, it looks like a rip-off in this regular case. I mean, I just don't understand why a studio would do that.
But here's the good news, though. I actually really dig the series, and I think that the premise behind the series was actually a really cool one, and I think that a lot of people that remember it from when I remember it, from the time period around 87 to 90, which would have been when the 3 seasons it was out.
I can't believe it had 3 seasons.
It did. It was actually one of the more memorable horror series to be out around that time, so I think that it's cool that it's out, and I hope a lot of people enjoy it now since it finally did make its triumphant DVD. It's just a shame that,
indeed,
it's the way that it is.
It's the thing about Paramount's discs. I think they're all like this now. Even the Blu-rays, the disc art itself on the disc is all gray.
Yeah.
When did they start doing that? They didn't always do that.
I don't know. You know how Paramount is, though. They're always thinking about us, the consumer.
Yeah. Like I was saying, if you're a fan of the series, this is what you get. I wasn't particularly a huge fan of this series, but it's all right. I mean, I just think that the basic idea of the movie is a little redundant. It's the same thing pretty much every episode. So,
yeah, it's the same thing, but it's not really the same thing. I mean, because each item has like a different story.
Yeah, it's sort of like the Amityville. It's like a new Amityville episode new Amityville movie every episode.
The one on here that I really remember the most, though, I just want to mention this before we go on to something else, is the one about the Cupid. Did you watch that one where
I watched. Well, here's the thing. They're all roughly an hour long, right? It's like an hour-long show. So I only could watch 2 episodes.
Yeah, well, there was the one that I always remember because I used it in the opening of the series, too, where they got the little Cupid thing that holds the bow and arrow, and they have to find that one and track it down. That was one of my favorites.
Yeah.
I don't know. A lot of people probably have their own favorites. Though you can go over to, Jesus Christ, you can buy this anywhere. I think you can even buy it at Walmart. But
yeah, it's like $37.
If you're really that interested, you can go over to Paramount.com.
It's fairly priced for 6 disc set, I think.
But that is Friday the 13th series, Volume 1, the complete first season.
Yeah, and if you definitely want to see Volume 2, you better go buy it.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Who knows, they could quit with it.
A special thank you goes out to our supporters on Patreon. The Patreon website has a complete archive of the Dead Pit radio shows starting way back in 2005, in addition to all of the midweek shows archived, commentaries, all that good stuff. If you're interested, and we appreciate all the support, go to www.patreon.com/IntoTheDeadPit. Tiers start as low as $1 per month.